How do you do, fellow kids? It's still too early, and I've been awake too long. But mission accomplished. I got it. I got the Rise of Evil 2-pack. And listen closely, because I'm going to tell you how I got them. So I've been seeing pictures like this pop up on social media, and I've been looking for this Rise of Evil 2-pack. So between yesterday and today, I went to 8 different Targets searching for these. I was looking at inventory systems. I'm not too confident that they would be in the inventory system, so I went to go check it out. I hate these Space Jam boxes because they look like the Rise of Evil 2-pack, and they're always right next to Masters of the Universe. I did see some deluxe figures. It looks like the case comes with 2 Hordaks, 2 Skeletors, and 2 He-Mans. I did decide to pick up a Battle Armor He-Man. And these DC figures look really great. McFarlane's doing a great job of distribution, but I'm just not ready to take the plunge. Even though I was really tempted by Grodd. He is pretty cool. Alright, so the story of how I got the Rise of Evil 2-pack. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I opened the Target app and I looked to see where it was available. It popped up. I can't remember. I think it said limited quantity, but I think I'm assuming that the stores only have one. Because last night I was checking to see about availability and nothing was popping up, and then this morning at 4 a.m. I had a hit 20 miles from here, so I immediately ordered it for a pickup at 4 a.m. and it stayed pending for the whole morning. I actually went to another Target to see if I could find it there, closer Target. So I was there at the Target when they opened at 8 a.m. And while I was at that other Target, the Target from 20 miles away, and 45-minute drive, they messaged, they sent me the status update or whatever, that it was ready to pick up. So I drove all the way over there. 45 minutes. It was actually, I don't think it's a Target that I've ever been to. So I had Waze on. It was actually kind of a tricky, windy ride to get there. It was not an easy Target to find. Let me put it that way. It wasn't off the freeway or anything. It was really, really far inland, and so. I got there and I went up to the customer service desk and I said that I was there for a pickup, and I also screenshotted my barcode. It's just a general tip for anybody who does pickups or has never done a pickup before. Anyway, so I had that ready for them, and they had it. The guy handed me a bag, and I looked in the bag, and sure enough, there it was, the beautiful artwork that we all know and love. I went and I threw it in my car, and then I went to the toy aisle to see if they had anything else that was good. I don't think they did. I can't remember, because I ended up hitting up a few more Targets on the way back. That's another story. I'm looking for the G.I. Joe exclusives that are supposed to be getting restocked. I don't want to miss out on those, so I've just kind of generally been stopping into Target to make sure that I know what's in there. And then also I wanted to pick up Battle Armor He-Man. I saw him on the pegs a couple of days ago, and I sort of passed on him, and I was thinking about it, and I really wanted to get that one. So I went back. The Battle Armor He-Man thing, you know what, I'm just going to grab it, it's right here. The Battle Armor He-Man thing, and I don't know what I'm going to do with him if Plan A works out. So I ordered him. I pre-ordered him online probably several months ago, probably back in January or something, and I was really excited about Battle Armor He-Man. I saw him on social media. But I never saw him at Target on the West Coast where I live. And so I ordered him, and I've been waiting for him. Well, I got a confirmation that it's been sent to me, but that was 2 weeks ago, and I think it's just been lost in the mail. I have no idea how to check it. I'm probably going to do a Google search on what I can do to figure out whether something was sent to me was lost in the mail. Maybe it's just been delayed for a really long time, or it fell behind the seat in the mail truck, and the guy's gonna find it next week, and I'll end up with 2 Battle Armor He-Mans. So I'll just have to kind of figure out what to do then. But in the meantime, I'm gonna take these guys out of the pack. All right, so I am really excited about this set. I grew up with the original toys, and obviously there was the animated series, and there were always differences, weird little things that I noticed. Probably never thought too much about it. Like, I think probably the most the easiest or the most noticeable thing about the differences with the toys and the animated series was Man at Arms. Man at Arms had a mustache in the show, and he didn't have a mustache. The toy didn't have a mustache, so that was always kind of an odd thing. I think there were other things that Teela's armor, the snake, her snake armor or whatever, that was kind of odd too, how she appeared. And so I think it was very clever in the 2000X. They decided to give He-Man and the whole universe and mythology kind of a backstory. And I think one of the most compelling things, or the most interesting things, was Skeletor's backstory. And they kind of made that connection between him and King Randor, how he ended up as a skeleton, skull man, as a result of a botched assassination attempt, or I guess they were sort of in battle, so it wasn't technically an assassination. Well, the one thing that I have to notice is that my Keldor seems to be a little sloppy, or a little loose. So that's a bit concerning. His knee is real loose. His knees don't seem to want to support his weight. He also can't look up because of his hair. The head mold was not originally created for the Origins. It was originally created for Masters of the Universe Classics, and since they had that head mold, they just took the kind of the Skeletor body and slapped him on there. Although the boots are different. Obviously, he doesn't have the monster feet, and he doesn't have the claw hand. He has more of He-Man's arms and wrists, like that. And then he has a full power sword. It's funny, the half power swords have a little bit of the green residue on here. It's disappointing about Keldor not being able to stand up. All this fuss to get these figures, and they're they end up being kind of substandard. I could probably do some part swapping. Anyway, so what was I saying? So he's got a full sword. It's funny how the half swords have a grip, but the full swords don't. I can get that residue off. I don't know how. I don't know too much about plastic molding, but this is really interesting. They molded kind of two colors of plastic together to make this kind of glowing power feature. And I'll see if it fits in his hand. That's good. It fits pretty well in his hand. And then he has the same thing on his Havoc staff. So let's see. I'm having a real hard time getting this guy to stand up. So here's my regular Skeletor and his Havoc staff. So got both Havoc staffs are basically the same mold, different colored plastic. There goes Keldor. And then this pack came with a second head with kind of a bejeweled or kind of translucent eyes on Skeletor. I'm actually gonna pop this off. Let's see if I can do a quick head swap. Doing it off camera because it's a little tough. Ooh. I think that worked. So here's Skeletor with the alternate head. Again, it's different. The regular Skeletor has an open mouth. This is actually pretty neat. He's got kind of molded teeth that are painted. Really good detail. But and I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I think the weirdest thing, and I even thought this as a kid, is that the hood doesn't connect to anything. So Skeletor just has a bonnet. I don't know. This head's kind of spooky. It's a little unsettling, but pretty cool. Pretty cool set. I have to say, I like the design. I like the whole idea of it. Bringing, the doing kind of like updated versions of characters, or I guess this is kind of the backstory version of Skeletor and Trapjaw, doing them in that vintage style. I really love the whole Origins thing. How they look and feel like the. I'm just doing a color comparison there. They have the look and feel of the vintage toys that I had when I was a kid. They have that modern articulation, which is really great because it's really fun to put them in poses that the vintage characters weren't able to do. So I wanted to take a quick look at this at the cape. The cape is really cool, and it's different than the one that Scareglow has. Scareglow has a great cape with amazing texture on it, and this is a good cape too. But the cape and this head together, pardon me, kind of make it difficult on for this for the head articulation and stuff for this character. So let's take a look at Kronis, or sort of the pre-Trapjaw character. I saw in a comic book, and I don't know if this was fleshed out in 2000X because I've only watched a few episodes of the first season of 2000X, but Kronis tried to kind of rebel against Skeletor, and Skeletor used his Havoc staff to blow off his arm and face, and so that's why Trapjaw now has. It doesn't explain why he has what does he have, a green face or something like that? But he has the jaw and the arm. He's missing his right arm, and he has the robotic arm now. But he comes with this machine gun, which which makes sense because Trapjaw has a laser gun attachment for his arm. This is the same machine gun that has traditionally come with, and this is the one that came with my Castle Grayskull. So very cool. I don't mind the reuse of this accessory because it is a really good accessory. This one pegs in, and I think this has the same mold, so it has the same peg hole that pegs to the weapons rack in Castle Grayskull. So yeah, really cool. I really like these. I'm gonna have to figure out something for his loose knees. I'm wondering if there's a trick with using there's a trick for using like a plumbing seal or some sort of plumber's tape, putting it into loose joints of, obviously that's a remedy for old action figures. I might have to do that for Kronis here because he can't seem to stay upright. He is a bit top heavy. That cape makes him a little more top heavy. I might consider removing his cape and basically giving that to Skeletor, if just to kind of get him to work a little better. So anyway, actually, yeah, let me stop the video and do that and see how that works out. All right, so here's what I did. I did an accessory swap between Keldor and Skeletor, and I actually think it works really well. I think the Keldor head works much better with no cape, and I just love Skeletor with the cape. So I basically put the Rise of Evil head and armor on Skeletor. There's a little bit of a color mismatch with the boots, but that does not that's not a deal breaker for me. And I love the idea of his Havoc staff being a little bit more powered up like that. So I think Skeletor looks really dope with that stuff. And then I think Keldor looks good as a kind of like, without the cape, more like a warrior, which is he's a handsome guy. Like, I can totally see this guy being on the battlefield with this sort of this armor and setup and everything. He does have two gripping hands, so he can also hold the other Havoc staff while wielding that power sword. So yeah, I think these guys are good. Also love Kronis. A lot of cool colors. He really pops. He's got kind of that darker blue. I guess the part of the backstory is that the blue people on Eternia are part of a race, and he is who's the guy, Cyclone or whatever, that is one of the part of that race. Don't know what those slots on his back do. I don't know if you can put the gun on there. I don't think so. I don't think that. Maybe it just doesn't. Maybe it doesn't have any purpose. It's just there to look cool or something. But anyway, so yeah, really great. I know Mattel is trying to get more of these out there. So far, it just seems like they're sending one per store, at least in my area. There's that photo of what is it, 12 of them or 10 of them on a shelf, which would be really great. But I have not seen that. I was watching I think Kyle Peterson, although he's in a different part of the country. He was doing in one of his latest videos, he was just walking down the aisle and he was like, oh, hey, look, there's the Rise of Evil 2-pack. And I'm sure he already has this. So to him, it's no big deal. He walked right past it. But yeah, I mean, who knows? They might see the demand for this, and they could be on the pegs in a week, and all this fuss was for nothing. I have seen. I'm sure there's some nervousness. There's definitely hope in the among the collectors that there's going to be more of these, and there's. I've seen prices seem to be going down for these, and I think I've seen the prices as low as like $50. So that's way down from $120, which is where it was a few weeks ago when these were first coming out, and obviously weren't available. So yeah, it looks like I'm hoping for everyone else who hasn't gotten one that we're going to see a lot of these in the stores during this summer, and hopefully we can all get one. Other than the issue with Keldor's knees and being top heavy, those things didn't mesh well. But an easy solution is to kind of create this cool hybrid Skeletor, and I think that really pops. I mean, one of the things that I was thinking is that it's cool that we're getting some alternate versions of characters. I don't think we necessarily needed an alternate version of Trapjaw, but this is a great way to do it. Having a pre-disfigurement version of Trapjaw. And obviously Skeletor is one of those characters where you could have multiple versions. There were multiple versions in the vintage line. Having multiple versions doesn't hurt. He's one of the greatest characters in the line. I'm tempted to buy one of the Skeletors that's been hanging on the pegs for 6 months and do some customization, but I just don't know what I would do. But that would be fun. It does occur to me that the further along you get, and they're issuing the 90th different Skeletor, that's probably going to sort of it's going to get old fast. I mean, there's only so many Skeletors and Evelyns and Tilas and all of those characters that can be issued before it's kind of like, well, do we need another merman? So I and I was looking at the line. There were very limited characters. I mean, there's only a few things that we haven't gotten. There's several vehicles that we haven't gotten, but there's maybe like a handful. I mean, there's probably about a handful of Horde characters that we haven't gotten, but the ones that I was noting were we have yet to see an announcement about Buzz-Off, Whiplash, Webstor, Too Bad. Modulok would be a lot of fun, although I think Modulok is the Horde. But any of those guys, all the Snake Men and stuff like that, Leech, and so I mean, I think there are a lot of characters that they could come out with. I don't know if I would get your like Rock-On and Stondar and kind of those more weird gimmicky characters when they got into the sort of the Transformer type genre. And then there's the two guys who are like spinning tops. So anyway, I'm just kind of wondering where they're going to take this line. These more recent waves have a lot of repeated parts, and I'm wondering when we're going to get new characters who are going to require more new tooling. they had a Grizzlor that was an exclusive. So I assume that we're going to get Grizzlor if they've already got the mold ready for Grizzlor, and Horde troops. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to see what else they give us. I don't know how far they can take this line. You know, I mean, unless kids get into it, but it looks like they're coming out with some other lines of Masters of the Universe figures. So it's possible that we can see an end to this line so that they can focus on selling those other lines, especially if those lines are more successful with kids. So, but for now, I'm really enjoying Origins. I watched a video of someone who's younger and was into Masters of the Universe Classics, and their argument was that this was a step back, and I can't argue against that. This is definitely a downgrade from Masters of the Universe Classics. I wasn't going to get into Masters of the Universe Classics simply because I've missed so much of that line, and to start collecting at this point would be very, very difficult. But Origins came out. I was able to get, you know, the first several waves of those, minus Orko and Trapjaw, if we ever get those. But I've pretty much gotten everything that's been released so far, and Flocked Panther I haven't gotten, but that's a little bit more palatable to me, as you know, I have Panther. I don't necessarily need the Flocked Panther. If I ever saw it on the shelves at Walmart, I'd buy it. But you know, we got Castle Grayskull, a lot of great things, and I've really been enjoying it. So you know, hey Mattel, keep up the good work. You know, if you transition to a different line, I totally understand. I think what Origins has been so far has been spectacular, and you know, I might buy, you know, more in a different line, but yeah, but I love these toys. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you comment down below, subscribe, and you know, I look forward to interacting with you. I'm really glad I got this set. Got some really cool accessories, and I think you know, it's really fun to part them out, create kind of a custom kit bash Skeletor, have a warrior Keldor, and that type of thing. So were you able to find them on the pegs? Are you seeing one per store? Are you seeing a full case? I'm interested to know. Yeah, definitely comment down below.